Yeah, what's up? This is Peter Tai, and I have to say, I'm doing one of my very first, of course, recordings in regards to my page. And I'd like to say thank you very much for joining me. And of course, I welcome all those who have been on. Just remind you that you can still subscribe and get the best in regards to the updates that are concerned. Now, today I'll be talking about the John Akibwa Olympic Stadium that is being constructed by Samco National Construction Company, a company that comes all the way from Egypt. They are doing a wonderful job, a fantastic job in Lira. And of course, the construction is moving on really, really well. If I am to look at the stadium, I think construction has actually gone to a point that we are coming to about 50% done, or even more than 50% done. As we speak right now, the roofing spaces are being put together from the ground before they can actually be lifted by the crane and installed across the roof, because it's going to be a roof with a canopy that covers the entire roof over there, that when the fans are in the stadium and it rains, they will not be actually disturbed. So everything is moving on really well. The construction or the roofing materials are available. They arrived. And of course, the machine that puts them up is already on ground, and the job has already actually kickstarted. I think roughly by the end of either next week or so, the roofing spaces will be across the John Akibwa Stadium. And for those who will be visiting the John Akibwa Stadium, you'll be seeing exactly what I am talking about in regards to the roofing spaces. So Samco Construction, National Construction Company, all the way from Egypt, is doing a wonderful job in Lira, making sure that our third stadium for the African Cup of Nations is ready. Remember, we are hosting the African Cup of Nations in 2027, and we are rushing to make sure that all our infrastructure is okay to actually host Africa's biggest soccer event. Morocco did a wonderful job. We all saw that. And I know there's been a lot of talk whether we can meet the standard of Morocco. In terms of infrastructure, it might be difficult for the three East African nations to meet the standard of Morocco, because we have seen something different in terms of that from Morocco. But what we have, they normally say, you have to cut your cloth according to your fitting, because we cannot in any one way compete with what Morocco has put up. But I'm very, very certain that we can put up something that is good. Our stadiums are good. The Hoima City Stadium is actually very, very okay. The John Akibwa Olympic Stadium that is being constructed in Lira right now by Samco is also another wonderful stadium. I know we have not yet actually gotten it complete, but when you see the stadium when it's done, you really appreciate the little, the match that, of course, government together with the constructors have put in place to give us something like that. So John Akibwa Stadium is actually racing, and we are very certain that all will be very okay for the stadium to actually light up Lango, to light up that is northeastern Uganda. And when that stadium is done, I'm very sure many people will be appreciating what government has done in terms of sport in this country, because from nothing to one, at least we have more stadiums that are coming up. Because remember, a national stadium, we only had one, that is the Nelson Mandela Stadium, which also, by the way, is supposed to be getting a touch on very, very soon. Then from there, we went to the Hoima City Stadium, which is already okay and ready to be played in. Then on the other side, we are having another stadium in Lango. That is, of course, the John Akibwa Memorial Stadium. So there's been this kind of school of thought from many people who actually thought that government is lying and government is not going to be constructing that stadium. And most of these people actually come all the way from Lango. I have a few of my friends who come from there who said, no, these guys are using it more of like a campaign tool so that they can actually garner the votes for the ruling party there. So they just want to do that and they give up. No. When it comes to hosting the African Cup of Nations, we have already put in place 3 cities, and we've already put in place 3 stadiums. So government is not playing more of a political gimmick or anything. The John Akibwa Memorial Stadium will be ready for the African Cup of Nations 2027. Let me give you some of these aerial shots and some of the shots of the works that have actually been done at the John Akibwa Memorial Olympic Stadium in Lango. Check this out. Well, there you have it. That is the John Akibwa Olympic Stadium that is actually going on really well. So kudos again to Samco for a job well done, and kudos to everybody who's tirelessly working at that ground just in order to give us another masterpiece in sport. So until next time, I'll be keeping you posted with what exactly is happening in the construction site and what is happening at the Olympic Stadium. That is the John Akibwa Olympic Stadium. Until next time, Peter Tai says thank you and bye-bye. Well, there you have it. That is the John Akibwa Olympic Stadium that is actually going on really well. So kudos again to Samco for a job well done, and kudos to everybody who's tirelessly working at that ground just in order to give us another masterpiece in sport. So until next time, I'll be keeping you posted with what exactly is happening in the construction site and what is happening at the Olympic Stadium. That is the John Akibwa Olympic Stadium. Until next time, Peter Tai says thank you and bye-bye.